ACTH release goes down to basal levels. Cortisol production and release acutely, tropically follows. Chronic, trophic, stress, enlarged adrenal gland shrinks to a relaxed size. Pinpointing in susceptibility to stress-induced personality disorder is the hippocampus-dependent set point of inhibition of CRH release in the hypothalamus. In the developing brain of the infant. Serotonergic neurons of the neocortex projecting to the hippocampus inhibit inhibition of expressing the gene of stress hormone receptor. Low number population of stress hormone receptor in hippocampal neurons projecting hypothalamus, a condensed experience of neglection or mistreatment, leads to a high set point with respect to stress hormones, to vulnerability to stress-induced personality disorder. In the end, we may see the well-nursed adequate serotonin, 5-hydroxytyrosine, 5-HT activity showing infant resilient to stress, has learned to exert confident behavior, a brave soldier in the struggle of life. Trauma-induced personality disorder, on the other hand, dependent strictly to permanently inhibited expression of glucocorticoid receptors of hippocampal neurons, hypothalamus projectin, is persistent for the life of affected neurons. But plasticity of the brain opens the gate to recovery. Recent research shows an acceleration of cell death in the affected hippocampus corresponding to serum stress hormone levels. This fact offers an interpretation of corticoids, mainly cortisol, as survival factors for reference neurons of the hippocampus. High cortisol levels follow low number receptor population, whereas this low number leads to early cell death based on impaired reaction to survival factor. The physiological cell death must be seen as a try to heal the unfortunate past. Dense signalized by low serotonin tension, condensed in a high glucocortical set point, now is the chance to renew, unfit to sustain, consequently lost neurons in an environment of confidence in terms of psychotherapy, reliable containment. Given adequate serotonin 5-HT tension, finally life-saving survival factor reception. Sure, there is loss of brain matter and structure, eventually leading to dementia precox if treated wrong. Atypical neuroleptics suppressing 5-HT or serotonin respectively. I like that, respectively. I like or love it, respectively. An often fatal hazard in modern quackery, even to the formerly non-affected personality. But this hippocampal restricted casuality is not sufficient to explain Alzheimer-like syndromes of dementia precox in the expanded consciousness of the quack. Synonym: dissociated personality. To understand these horrible consequences of research beyond the borders of man, woman, human, pictorial, burn out by the fiery sword of the angel gardening the garden of eternity. Two further aspects of mammalian organism are to put into equation. Hypophyseal ACTH production by the epiphysis depends on the expression of POMP gene. Product of this gene is pre-pro-opiomelanocorticotrophin, P-POMP. As the name P-POMP pre-opio reveals, artificial supply of opiates influences not just the opioid system, engaged in reaction to pain. Obviously, in relative excess leads to dissociative states, psychological or physiological, respectively, in life-threatening hazard, not to repulse by flight or fight, to avoid excitotoxicitosis. Of psychiatric relevance in the expanded consciousness or Erleuchtungsblödheit offensive. But melatonin release, the sleeping hormone, and stress reaction too. By proof equimolar stimulation, pumps links three cybernetics: stress reaction, wake sleep, and pain. You may recognize the major axes of borderline disorder symptoms. Artificial interference to one of these cybernetic chains leads to imbalance of both accompanied. First. Second, there is an evident impairing action of glucocorticoids on thyroids in the target tissue of the hormones. Thyroid hormones, T3, T4, indices count the number of iode atoms in the molecule, are metabolized by probably glucocorticoid-dependent deiodinases, essential nutrient selene. Different deiodinases catalyze the transforming of weak-acting T4 to strong-acting T3, or both varieties of thyroid hormones to silent, with respect to hormonal action, T2. Besides further essential effects, glucocorticoid-influenced thyroid hormones regulate tissue-dependent beta-adrenergic receptor population of the target cell, thereby exerting an effect, to catecholaminergic activity. The beta-adrenergic receptor, agonistically bound, triggers maturation of monocytes to macrophages, mainly in regions of high orthostatic or dynamic stress, pre-tibial blood vessels or heart. Thyroid-dependent beta-adrenergic receptors regulate tension of the smooth muscle. As may be concluded from mixed edema and dysthyroidism, based on proteinous detritus of declined cells, including amyloids, shifted to the lymphocytic in case of hypothyroidism followed by immature macrophages, not capable to clear a situation of inflamed tissue. Restricted access to tissue due to hyperadrenergic reaction and hyperthyroidism of the blood-brain barrier, or immature lymphocytes in hypothyroidism leads to the unpleasant picture of Alzheimer plaques in dementia precox or Erleuchtungsblödheit of RESP on terminal stage.